Hi, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Miss Anna or Miss Johnson, whichever you prefer. And this is the first algebra video that you will be using to help you with your assignment for this week. So I want to tell you a little bit about how I intend these videos to be used. As you're listening, if you want to at any point pause and take some notes, that's a great idea. Just click pause and jot down some notes. If you want to rewind the video and watch it again, if anything was unclear, feel free to do that. And yeah, if you have questions after watching it, if you've watched it a couple times and you still have questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You can call me, text me, email me, WhatsApp me, Facebook me, anything. So let's go ahead and get started for today. Oh, I also wanted to mention I'm going to be speaking mostly in English, but also a little bit in Spanish to help those of you who might speak Spanish as your first language. Okay, so today we're going to talk about quadratic equations and the graphs of quadratic equations. So the first thing that I would like to do is go over some vocabulary. So this is our vocabulary. A parabola is this graph right here, this U-shaped graph. And in Spanish, it's called parabola. And a lot of these vocabulary words are very similar in Spanish. The maximum, which is the highest point on a graph, maximum significa máximo. The minimum is the lowest point on the graph, and minimum significa mínimo. A point significa un punto, is just a dot on the graph. Vertex is either the minimum or the maximum on a graph. So es el mínimo o el máximo en una gráfica. Vertex. And vertex significa vértice in Spanish. Graph significa gráfica, and a graph is just a picture of an equation similar to this. Quadratic significa cuadrático, and a quadratic is an equation that has a little number up here. So for example, this equation, esta ecuación es cuadrática. This equation is quadratic because it has an exponent. It has a little number up above the x. And the word axis significa eje. And there are two axes on a graph. We have our y-axis, which is vertical, goes up and down. So this right here is our y-axis. And we have our x-axis, which is left and right. It's this horizontal line right here. So we have our x-axis and our y-axis. And then our parabola is this U-shaped graph. Okay, so I would like to point out some features of this graph right here. So we have our parabola, which is this red U-shaped line. So when I say parabola, this is what I'm talking about, this U-shaped line. And the parabola has several unique features. So the first we're going to talk about is the vertex, vértice. Now the vertex is either the lowest point or the highest point on a graph. So on this graph, does it have a minimum, un mínimo, or a maximum, un máximo? Well, this graph has a minimum, right? Because the lowest point on the graph is right here. There's no part of this red parabola that is lower than this point right here. So let's see. This point right here, yeah, you can see it when I click on it. That's our minimum, okay? If the parabola was going down, was down facing, we would have a maximum. Our vertex, nuestro vértice, sería un máximo. Our vertex would be a maximum and it would be right here.